Alright, so here is a quick and dirty tutorial on how to make these little latex-free dish scrubbers. They're pretty simple to make. I just make them on the Knifty knitter loom here. I think it's like the flower loom maybe, or the baby sock loom. I don't really know for sure, but I can measure it and post in the comments as to exactly what size it is, because I don't really know. I usually just use up yarn that I find kind of itchy or just not soft enough for, you know, hats or socks or whatever. And I also use the ends of yarn, the leftovers, and use that up for making these handy dandy little scrubbers. They are obviously great for their intended purpose, but my cats absolutely adore them, and one of them thinks that they are actually mice and acts that way. So basically it's pretty simple. You just cast on, and if you're new to using the Knifty knitter, then one of the things that you need to be aware of is that you have a tendency to, and I think it's pretty much across the board, that you'll have a tendency to make it really, really tight when you wind your yarn around, and that is not necessary, and it makes it harder for you, and it's just something that you have to be aware of, because it basically just makes it more difficult for you, and then sometimes the yarn can break as well. So I will count for sure as I finish up a few rows. I think it's 4 rows that I usually do. I generally don't count. I kind of wing it, and I will fast forward through that and then be back to finish it up. So here we are back again. It was actually 3 rows that I knitted, and you don't count the first row, which is counting on. So I did 3 rows, and I can kind of pull it together here and see that it's going to come together pretty nicely, I think. Anyways, it's my opinion. And so at this point, you just get ready to bind off. And for this one, because of the yarn that I use, it's kind of what I consider pretty cheap yarn, and it's not the thick yarn, so I do use 2, I have 2 balls that I used for it. I've also made it with 2 different colored balls of yarn, and that looked kind of cool too. I don't think I have any right here. But another option also is I can't use any sponges, so whenever I get like bags of oranges or something like that, then I keep those mesh produce bags, and I basically cut them into strips, and then I weave the strip in basically at the end. You know, when I would start at the end, I would just tie the strip in with the yarn, and so these give you a little extra boost of scrubbing power, and my husband actually really likes them. So, and he is not one that enjoys cleaning. I also use them to clean my bathroom sometimes too. But this is really close to being finished. You just bind off like you would normally. Oops, there we go. And you can throw them in the washing machine, and they wash up very nicely. Sometimes they felt a little bit depending on the material of the yarn, but it's a great way to disinfect them, and with your other dish towels and stuff. Right, so make sure you can see what I'm doing here. You want to be sure you have the loose ends here held to the side, and finish pulling through, and then you will always want to be sure when you cast off to hold the end, or it's just going to go right through. And so I usually try to go through again what I've already gone through to cast off. Not all of it, just some of it, just for a little extra staying power. And hold both, pull. This is very similar to when you do a hat. And then I just tie it off. And I know a lot of people will crochet or pull the ends back through. I guess I'm kind of a risk taker that way. I don't do that. It doesn't turn out so well with socks if you don't crochet them back through, because they will come apart. I've had that happen in my washing machine. I am far from an expert on using the Knifty knitter, and do not proclaim to be one. But I do make socks and hats and little dish scrubbies and whatever else I can dream up. And I do also tie the where you cast on as well. I tie that as well. That's just me. Do what you want. Do what works for you. Alright, so that's all tied up. Like that. And there is a cute little scrubby. Or cat toy. I have a bajillion of these, and they work great for cleaning dishes, cleaning the bathroom. And my cats steal them and love to play with them. So here's a whole bunch right here. So hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea as to how I make these. Pretty cheap, pretty quick, See, I made this in 10 minutes. So that's about it. Have a great day.